Welcome to the D Minus Diaries, episode 30, Fork in the Road, The Costs You Don't See Until It's Too Late, by Jim Jones. We hope you enjoy this podcast while you drive, ride, roam, or drone. In life, we often use navigational directions to describe our trajectory. Sometimes we go in circles, other times we walk the straight and narrow until we hit a bumpy stretch and a fork in the road. Many years ago, we were riding motorcycles across the desert of Utah when we came to a fork in the road. There were no signs. The dirt and sand road we were on offered no clues about which way to go. We stopped and looked around. There was no cell phone signal and no way to look it up. It reminded me of those old Adam West Batman cliffhangers where the dynamic duo always had to choose between two impossible options, each one seemingly leading to certain doom. When we are faced with a decision, we often think in terms of either or. We see two choices and assume that is all there is. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath, slow down, and weigh the options along with their consequences. Financial decisions often come down to math, but the cost is not always the price. Emotional decisions come with their own set of rewards and consequences, many of which cannot be measured with a calculator. We used a planning process called DOTMLPF-T. It stands for Doctrine, Organization, Training, Materiel, Leadership and Education, Personnel, Facilities, and Technology. In plain English, before spending money or making a major decision, we forced ourselves to ask whether the answer was changing the way we think, organize, train, lead, or use the people and equipment we already had. Can we change our behavior instead of buying our way out of this? More often than not, the best solution was not buying something new. It was looking at the problem from a different direction. The truth is that not all decisions are financial. Some are emotional, some are practical, some are moral, some are strategic, some are made out of fear, and others out of hope. Choosing a spouse, having a child, changing careers, moving across the country, joining the military, retiring, or buying a home all involve different factors. The mistake is thinking every fork in the road can be measured with a calculator. Some decisions affect your wallet. Others affect your happiness, your relationships, your legacy, or the direction of the rest of your life. Buying a puppy or having a baby both come with costs that are easy to underestimate. The average dog owner may spend $20,000 to $55,000 over the life of a pet. That's a decent used car spread out over 10 to 15 years that you forget you're paying for. Raising a child to age 18 can cost $250,000 to $350,000, and if college is part of the plan, that number can easily push past $500,000. That's a starter home worth of money that you trade for a human being you hope turns out better than you did. Yet neither decision is really about money. Both are decisions of the heart that come with years of responsibility, sacrifice, joy, and occasionally a little chaos. A few weeks ago, I wrote about a little landscaping project that somehow turned into a $35,000 tractor purchase. My original plan was to buy materials and do the work myself. Then I decided I needed a tractor with a bucket, backhoe, grapple, and pallet forks. I could have hired the work out. After I finished, I asked ChatGPT what it might have cost to have professionals do the job. The estimate came back around $15,000. At first glance, that sounds like I made a terrible decision. If this were a spreadsheet exercise, I failed the assignment. But then I applied the same thinking we used in the Army. The tractor was not just a machine, it was a tool that would continue to solve problems long after this project was finished. The decision included maintenance, training, storage, and a long list of responsibilities that never appeared on the sales contract. The purchase created new responsibilities and new costs, but it also created new capabilities. Whether it was a good decision or not will probably not be known for several years. A few years ago, a friend of mine faced a different fork in the road. She wanted to sell her paid-off house because the city and county property taxes were becoming difficult to manage. The house was where she had raised her children, but it was also becoming more than she wanted to maintain. She found a nice condominium and sold the house. The decision solved one problem but created several new ones. At the time, the decision made perfect sense. She made money on the sale and reduced her maintenance responsibilities, But life has a funny way of finding extra money and figuring out how to separate you from it. Inflation arrived, prices went up. The property taxes never went away. Every few years, the HOA hands out special assessments for repairs at the facility. The math that looked so good at the beginning slowly changed over time. The math worked on closing day. It just did not stay still. Neither decision was necessarily right or wrong. They simply had consequences that were difficult to see at the moment the decision was made. When we are young, we can often recover from mistakes. We have time on our side. As we get older, the margin for error becomes smaller and the consequences become larger. That is why when you come to a fork in the road, it is worth taking a moment to look around. The choice is rarely between only two options. Sometimes there is a third path hidden from view. Sometimes you can turn around and rent, borrow, or delay instead of buying. Sometimes doing nothing is a decision in itself, and sometimes there is no perfect answer, so you simply pick a direction and move forward. The lesson from that dusty crossroads in Utah is that we made the right decision, even though we did not know it at the time. When I got home, curiosity got the better of me and I used Google Earth to see what would have happened if we had taken the other road. It was a disaster waiting to happen. The route led deep into the desert with no fuel, no services, and no easy way out. We likely would have run out of gas miles from help and spent a very uncomfortable night wondering why we had ignored our instincts. Years in the Army taught me that most problems have more than two solutions and every decision carries costs that are not always obvious. The wise person tries to consider the unseen costs before moving forward. If you cannot weigh your choices, slow down long enough to see them. If it is not a life or death situation, there is usually time to stop, think, and look for another path. By the end of today, you will have made dozens of decisions. Some will be good, some will be bad, most will be somewhere in between. The important thing is to understand that every fork in the road leads somewhere. Choose carefully, accept the consequences, and keep moving forward. If you like what you hear, please like the heart button, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Thank you. Jim, D Minus Jones.